welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream, my WWE Smackdown review. This is Jacob Cass, 2024. We're gonna talk about what happened on SmackDown tonight. Um, this is how the show ended with the Bloodline standing tall. Um, we are gonna go through what happened on the whole show. SmackDown was pretty good. It was okay. There was a lot to talk about. Show Kevin Owens' heel turn. LA Knight. It seems like his title reign is all right. We did get LA Knight defending against Carmelo Hayes. It looks like they will do Andrade and Carmelo Hayes again to see who faces LA Knight for the U.S. title. Santos Escobar, he wants a shot. Legado, they want a shot. Nick Aldis is teasing a big return. A new tag team coming to SmackDown. We know that Kevin Owens turned heel. Everything with the woman with Liv Morgan and Nia Jax that's being set for Crown Jewels, Tiffany Stratton. We did get Naomi beat Nia Jax. We did see Rhea Ripley on the show, and she came out and brawled with Liv Morgan and Raquel. There's a lot on this show. Now, this show was much better than Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was garbage. It was awful. SmackDown was a lot better. A lot better. Everything with the Bloodline was very interesting. Clearly, they're setting up more games for next month. Now I'm gonna make this video about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. See how long it goes. My video is sponsored by Fightful Pro Wrestling, JD from New York, Denise Salcedo, Solomon the Sound Off, Good My Work Commentary, and my other favorite podcasters and YouTubers that I know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Enjoy this video. Now, I will talk about the news and rumors for AEW and WWE and what do you think the plans are for The Rock. Now, this is how the show ended. Oh, wait, hold on. The show ended. Don't worry, it's on mute. Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso said that we need help. There's All Elite Wrestling Rampage. This ain't live. This is new. It's only like an hour. Alright. Now let me talk about SmackDown. I do got 16 people watching. Now let's talk about what happened on SmackDown tonight. Roman Reigns attacked. Kevin Owens jumped. Randy Orton. Rhea Ripley came out. Reigns said no ye. Clearly they're setting up a Jey Uso reunion. We got Nia Jax get confronted by Naomi and Liv Morgan. Clearly they're setting up Naomi to challenge her for the title pretty soon. And they are building to Liv Morgan and Nia Jax for Crown Jewels to see who wins that Crown Jewel Championship. We got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defend their tag team titles against Last Legend and Jakia Justin. This match was nothing. This match here went like 3 minutes. Actually, it lasted 2 minutes. It felt less. It wasn't even that much. Cody Rhodes confronted Kevin Owens. So clearly they're setting up Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens down the line. They might do it on SmackDown. We did get LA Knight. LA Knight take down Carmelo Hayes in the U.S. title match. The show did open up with Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso says Roman Reigns no longer has a tribe. Jimmy Uso isn't afraid to let Roman Reigns know the hearts. Now we did get, it says here, based on the report by Dave Meltzer, they said that The Rock is too busy for Mania. I hope not. Hope that's a troll. Who will face The Rock at WrestleMania 41? I know that tomorrow we have AEW Wrestle Dream. Will we see Shane McMahon? We got Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley for the title. Alright. Now let's see what else can we talk about. There's the pre-show, or the countdown to it. Alright, let's see what else can we talk about here. It says here WrestleMania 41 planned ruin. We have WWE leaving Peacock. Here's the Bad Blood Fallout. Alright. Kevin Owens turns heel on Cody Rhodes. Looking back on the Punk and McIntyre feud. Dawson having a chance for the champ at Crown Jewels. The Watch shows up at the end of Bad Blood with Reigns and Cody in the ring. I think the most disappointing thing about what happened on SmackDown, Roman Reigns didn't really say anything about The Rock showing up at Bad Blood. Nothing was said about that. I don't know why. It's like they forgot that didn't even happen. Alright, we got Daniel Garcia chooses AEW. Wrestle Dream major debut being planned. WWE just crossed. Wait, I think I already saw this. Alright, here's the news and rumors. Did Ricky Stark just expose Tony Khan?
And if you look at the match card on paper, it looks to be one of the weakest AEW cards of all time. I got some late breaking news as we head into tomorrow's pay-per-view. Also, The Rock, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, will not be at WrestleMania 41. I don't know, guys. I don't know if something stinks in the venue. Maybe Jesse's burning something in the kitchen. But I think I smell bullshit on that report. Also, Ricky Starks may have just exposed our good friend Tony Khan. And MJF seems like he's making his way back to AEW television. Thank God. All this and so much more right here on Off the Script. And we will start something I didn't really mention in the intro, but it's pertinent information. Backstage news on Daniel Garcia and when he re-signed with AEW, and he will be factored into significant creative plans moving forward. Garcia returned on Wednesday's show, which, by the way, if you missed the stream on Wednesday, go back and watch it. An absolute all-timer review on Tuesday.
Alright, now let me read the news and rumors here. Ricky Stark may have just finally exposed his whereabouts with AEW, and Tony Khan may be not to blame. Dave Meltzer reports The Rock will not be involved in WrestleMania 41. AEW supposedly had major plans for Daniel Garcia after he re-signed with the company, and Bryan Danielson injured ahead of his match with Jon Moxley this weekend at Wrestle Dream. So what's gonna happen at Wrestle Dream? Is Danielson gonna get stripped from the title? Is he gonna vacate the title? Is someone else gonna take a spot? Now what Dave Meltzer said, it had to be a troll. I think that's swerving us. I don't think they want to know that Rock might wrestle. Maybe he will wrestle. Maybe it's all for a swerve. We did see The Rock get Bad Blood, but nothing was said. So I hope not.
Weekend presents to us.
Alright. I think I already wait, I don't think I showed y'all this one yet. Might as well show you guys this. Rock Triple H Roman Reigns Triple Threat. The worst week of the week of 2024. Now let's read the news and rumors. WWE Bad Blood is in the book. The final boss is back with a scripted message The Rock made emerges after Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes teamed for the first time ever at Bad Blood. But what was his message? Rumors now circulating that a major triple threat match is being planned for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Can this work? Does it take away the potential Rock and Reigns match? And they talk about the rumors surrounding Rock and if this is truly the right move for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. WWE was heavily criticized for Bad Blood, and again on Monday for the lackluster Raw that saw the show move back to 2 hours for the first time in 12 years since 2012. What happened? Was it bad for everyone? Said it was. Also, AEW linked into Takoma with their new October traditional Wrestle Dream. Alright. Okay. Now this is what we saw on the show. That it? Oh, wait, what? That's a Goldberg message. Now this is what we saw. They did show a highlight. Cody and Roman had Rocky Night at Bad Blood. Now we know that they're setting up. I think they will set up Roman and Solo. Now it's been reported that Roman Reigns will be on Smackdown. He's advertised for a couple of Smackdowns this month or next month or in December. I hope they set up Roman and Solo at Crown Jewel. I think he has to be on Crown Jewel. He was on last year. Hopefully, they could set that up. I have a feeling that they might. And then they'll set up War Games. Clearly, they're setting up Jey Uso to make a return back to the bloodline. With Paul Heyman, where's he fit into this? Hopefully, see the White Man come back. Will we see Sammy? I'm not sure. LA Knight's having an okay title reign. Nothing special. We're doing open challenges every week. He beat Santos. He beat Carmelo Hayes. They are gonna do next week Carmelo Hayes and Andrade in a number 7, and whoever wins will face LA Knight for the United States title. I'm pretty sure Andrade gonna win, and he'll get a shot with LA Knight. Maybe they'll advertise it for a Crown Jewel because it needs some title matches. Since now the world title being defended, you gotta have something on the line. Now we know that they're setting up Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. They might do this on SmackDown in like a couple of weeks. Cause Cody Rhodes are gonna wrestle Gunther. Cody Rhodes are gonna be on Monday Night Raw this week. Just hype up his match with Gunther. So yeah. I mean Cody Rhodes came out there and attacked Cody Rhodes. He attacked Randy Orton. I think they'll set up that match. And for the women, clearly we all know that they're building up to Liv Morgan, Nia Jax at Crown Jewel, and we'll see who wins that. We'll probably see some interference. Maybe Rhea gets involved. Maybe we'll see Tiffany screw over somehow. Or we could get a casting. We won't know. Alright. Now let me show you guys the my podcast. Alright. These are commercials. Hold on.
So that's fine. I'm gonna let it slide this time because it's Saudi Arabia. Once we get past Saudi Arabia, go back to just having certain times of Raw, certain times of SmackDown. What I do really want to talk about is something I love everything. I mean everything.
When it was 2 hours, but I just think it's just that hump of getting past 3 hours, and SmackDown is easy breezy watching for most of the part, and this episode was more of that.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, like Kate and I have already spoken about this, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree. Like, I hope they don't tack on that extra hour.
and Nia went up top for Oblivion. Raquel got on the apron, distracting the referee again. Liv Morgan then took the Money in the Bank briefcase, hit Nia with it. Naomi then powerbombed Nia Jax.
Publicly, some with old school mentalities didn't like the idea that he stole the show and is not building to a match. He's not going to be able to do Mania. He already gave word that he wouldn't be able to do that match, the source said, when asked about Rock versus Reigns versus Rhodes. Rock came out with people felt that Widow of Ali gave us the Hall of Fame. There was no specific reason given past. We were told that different reasons were given to different people. What?
All right.
I feel like I'm in a sweet spot right
Now let's watch Robin and Denise talk about this.
Back to a 2-hour Raw, right? We haven't had a 2-hour Raw since Raw 1000, so it's been a long time. And when I was watching Raw this Monday, I kept thinking, like, damn, there are so many commercials. Like, it doesn't feel the same way that SmackDown does. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to pay, like, extra attention. And I personally felt like the SmackDown flow tonight was phenomenal. And I'm like, if the Raw 2-hour flow can be like the SmackDown 2-hour flow, this would be even like an easy breezy show. But I really like SmackDown tonight. I had like 8 reaction videos because there was just a lot of moving parts on the show. And given how we ended Bad Blood with The Rock and Roman and Cody, I truly had no idea what to expect on the show. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think there's still a layer of unpredictability as far as exactly how things are going to unfold. They did advance in the direction we've been talking about for a minute now, like the whole Bloodline Civil War. Really, they started dropping the breadcrumbs, or they're not even breadcrumbs, they're right in your face, you know, glaring signs about who might be involved in this going forward. But, you know, I think that part was cool. Obviously, the KO thing, which we'll get to, is I really like what they did with the women tonight and involving multiple players in the picture. So definitely a good show that flowed. I think maybe with Raw, they were doing a 3-hour show. So because they were doing a 3-hour show and they were trying to balance everything within the mechanisms of a 3-hour show, you then have to lose an hour and go to 2.
Now, before I get back to my review and talk about the main event with Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, I'm going to show you guys my other podcasters and my other YouTubers. See them talk about their review first, and I'll get back to my review. And I'll talk about what I think about the main event. But right now, hold on.
2 hours makes it a little bit more difficult than SmackDown's been kind of a well-oiled machine in that format.
Yeah, and you touched on that too, because hey, you brought up a really good point. And this is something that I was thinking about during the show was how basically you have, your bloodline storyline, right? You have all of what's going on with that. But then on top of that, so you have the Roman Solo Sikoa aspect of this. Yeah, that's one story there. Then you also have the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton portion of the story. You have the women's stuff with Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton. They somehow involved Rhea and Liv here today, but then you have the LA Knight storytelling. It just feels like there's a lot of stories on SmackDown that we're, like you said, we're seeing them advance. And I feel like that's why SmackDown was a good show today, because there are multiple stories along and multiple reasons to care about the show. So I really liked what we saw here today, and I feel like that's part of the reason that it was a successful show tonight.
Well, yeah, and to the point of some of that, like it just made sense. I thought the way that the women's match went down, because I'm thinking in my head, all right, well, Naomi needs to win now. It's not a title. And, Liv is trying to start a beef with Nia Jax ahead of Crown Jewel. And you're starting to see that pay off. Because I thought that was a cool twist, by the way. You and I haven't talked about that yet. The Crown Jewel announcement, where it gives that PLE an identity, right? Like the Rumble, you're going to get 2 Royal Rumbles. It's Money in the Bank, you can have Money in the Bank match, so on and so forth. With Barry, I always felt like Crown Jewel, other than the history of and where it is, had always kind of felt in recent times like a glorified house show, one of those glorified house shows. And now it has an identity. Oh, at Crown Jewel, you're going to get champion versus champion. So I like the way that they mixed in the Liv Nia Jax thread with that. Obviously, up the top, Roman getting involved, who cracks me up. Roman's facial expressions are
Yes.
hilarious. They always get me. And then the Kevin Owens thing, what I like about that is he didn't just like flip. He's kind of like crazed. You know, he feels he's justified and he's like manic in a sense. We don't know exactly what's going on with him, but he didn't go like, obviously he's a heel now in a sense, but he didn't go full heel where he's just like declaring war. Something snapped in his head, and I like that aspect. And bringing Randy in now too, because I don't know where Randy's going to wind up.
There's a lot of stuff to be excited about right now, so I'm really feeling hyped about a lot of what we're going to cover today. Let me go ahead and get into these super chats and see what he's bringing out first and foremost. I want to thank Dan Jackson for becoming a brand about another team coming in, a brand new team coming in. So this definitely looks like it's the Motor City Machine Guns that are going to be coming in and facing Umberto and Angel Garza. Because yeah, that's sort of the only team that I can possibly think of the second that he said it.
And then they seem to have a lot of hype around them coming in, right? Even just the package got people excited when there had been people sort of knew, right? It wasn't like a revelation when that promo dropped. People knew that they were on their way there. So it'll be interesting to see just how much hype they put around it because I feel like a lot of the fans.
No, we are, and I know that I've talked about this like on other shows too, but I still cannot believe how long it's taken for WWE to pick up the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, it has been forever. So for me, like, I don't know, it's gonna be exciting, but it's also gonna be a little bit strange. But I'm curious to see. Needs a lot more and a lot more teams that people are invested in. Because Robin, like, I'm not invested in the tag team division right now because I don't feel like I'm necessarily like clamoring for one or two teams. It's sort of just like I'll take it for what it is, but I'm not really expecting anything more. So now with the addition of the Motor City Machine Guns, it's sort of adding another element to it where I'm curious to see what it's going to look like.
And they come in as a tag team specific, but you're right. I mean, it's really been since the Usos and KO and Sami Zayn. When was the last time? I mean, no disrespect to anybody else who had the belts, but it didn't feel like they had gravitas or were important. Tossed around. They had some matches. Some of them were cool, some of them weren't. But it wasn't since the Usos had that long reign, and then Sami and KO took it all from at WrestleMania a couple of years ago, where the tag titles were elevated. So it would be nice to see the tag division elevated in a sense, and to get a tag team. When's the last time a tag team came in the door? You know, usually it's an individual that's being promoted, or even a faction. But I can't recall off the top of my head the last time a tag team was promoted coming in the door.
No, I can't either. And if you're talking to the person, Robin, like I would not be here right now sitting down talking about wrestling at all. I would probably not be a fan because I'm that person that grew up like in the TLC era, and that was part of the reason.
The Hardys and
Was born way after wrestling. I think that kind of covers the bases in terms of how we all felt. Rock versus Cody. So I don't know what a WrestleMania this 41 looks like without The Rock because it feels like those are two of the big matches that we were sort of anticipating.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say The Rock would still be a part of WrestleMania. And here's the main thing: The Rock is going to be a part of a program. I mean, he didn't come back at Bad Blood. We're now past the time where he would come out and be like, "Hey, it's me. I'm The Rock making an appearance." He came out with a purpose. I thought we might get more of it tonight. Obviously, we didn't. But we did see, whatever the accounting was doing. There was a social video of Solo saying this is all part of the plan. We know we've been building towards these collisions and these mega matches. So let's just say we're living in a world where The Rock isn't at WrestleMania. Well, then one of those matches is happening at one of the other events. If it's not, I don't know what movie he'd be doing that would conflict so heavily with WrestleMania where he couldn't make it work. I'd have to look at his schedule. But I would still bet on him being in WrestleMania. But I would, besides that, he's going to be around a lot. And I have to keep coming back to the point. The Rock is not an employee. He is on the board. The better the WWE does, the better it is for him. Not from like, oh, we're doing well, here's a raise, but from the stock and everything that he's actually invested in. So his best move is to put himself out.
Kelly?
Hi. Thank you for the super chat. Make you guys enjoy my video.
Yeah, man, he benefits himself, benefits the company, benefits all of us. We got June Ninja 77 who says, I am hype Motor City Machine Guns, one of my
Now though, like I've been that's my life.
about like casting. So I watched one.
Until I know that and rule it out, give me all those. I mean, The Rock would only be involved in. Well, I guess he'd be involved in 3. He's not doing 3. That seems like a lot of matches considering he just did the one for the first time in a long time. But that's also a better way for him to go about it because he can hide a little bit in a match like that. Then I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, that was like also something that I feel we saw with the tag team match. Like, oh, that was such a fun match at WrestleMania. But again, like you had the extra people there to kind of do a lot of the work to where it's not just you. We have John Taylor here who says, I still remember as an 11-year-old seeing The Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez at WrestleMania 9, and it kind of blew my mind, even if it was a crap match. No, I get it, man. I 100% get it. Because when you're a kid, you don't know that something's, I mean, maybe sometimes you do know that's crap, but sometimes you don't.
It's that feeling you have. You knew Giant Gonzalez was crap and getting furry, like whatever was going on.
For History Channel.
You're just really trying to make The Rock look strong. And we know Cena's been down to do the job for that. I'd rather see Cena go out on top in his last little run here and The Rock just stay involved in the things that
It's fine because obviously Randy is still, continuously active, probably looks better than. And then on top of that, I want to see John Cena wrestle all of these new guys that we never thought he would probably wrestle. So
and Rock to run it back. Because things could go wrong in the ring, things could go wrong for either guy.
And he suggests Jey Uso. But Roman Reigns is like, no yeet. Well, Robbie, what did you think of this portion?
Jimmy did not suggest Jey officially, did he?
He insinuated. I think everybody knew. Yeah, he insinuated Jey Uso. Yeah, we're filling that in.
And you know how hot Jey is right now, right? Like Jey is at the peak of his powers. He probably will never be more popular than he is at this very moment in time. The crowd realizes that too. They get to the heat, they participate in the whole thing, and then Roman with the perfect delivery, it's like no heat, which is a callback to a great segment on the show in the past, and just a good line in and of itself. And I like the fact that Roman has been able to keep some of the condescension with his babyface character, where
I can't say hi yet. I think I'll say hi after I get done my video. Don't worry, I'll make sure I subscribe to your channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button.
yeah, we know he's the good guy now, but he hasn't totally lost that like tribal chief arrogance, like Big Jim, those kind of things. The facial.
Roman Reigns has always been anti the yeet stuff. He's always been team no yeet. Yeah.
Thank you for this subscribe. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
I mean, even I switched. When this whole yeet stuff started, I was like, oh, I don't care about the yeet stuff. But then it freaking stopped. It stopped.
Which they put because there may not always be perfect, but there's a lot of care put into the product.
All right, now let me let's get back to my review. Okay. Oh yeah, there's Rhea Ripley. She takes out the judge. Kevin Owens confronts Cody Rhodes. Wrestling Inc.
Extra absorbent, even for your messiest meals. Vanity Fair napkins. Elevate every day.
The Mets have been like kind of incredible.
Reveal updates from Bad Blood, Big E rumors, original finish for WWE Bad Blood title match reportedly revealed. We have a backstage update on Drew McIntyre's head injury at WWE Bad Blood. Backstage rumors suggest injured WWE star Big E could get involved in New Day angle because they are teasing something with the New Day.
Where you can sort of see Jey Uso coexist as both Jey Uso Yeet version of what we're seeing, but Jey Uso also being a guy that can go out there and help out the bloodline at some point.
War Games and Survivor Series, right? Those are the events that are tailor made for those sort of things. And it doesn't mean you have to put what Jay's done as a solo person on the back burner. He's just coming in for these specific big matches that require a lot of people. And again, I think Sami Zayn's gonna be a part of it too. I think it only makes sense when they do eventually bring Jay back to then bring Sammy back, because it was always Jay and Sammy in the first place. Like that's where that started from. So I think you'll get that, especially if you're looking at so you've got Solo, you've got Jacob, and you've got the Tongas. So you need 4 on the other side. That would be Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Sammy.
I love it. Let's see what we end up getting. I mean, at some point, here's the thing. Like, I feel, well, first of all, the Sammy era of the Bloodline story that we've been seeing was my favorite. Like, the Sammy stuff was, for me, it was the best part of this whole entire timeline. And I feel like after right now, Sammy's dealing with all the Gunther stuff, right? But there's no really like clear direction afterwards that I can recall of where Sammy's going afterwards. So I can see him sort of circling back to that. So we'll see. All right, we got Bailey Darley here who says Roman needs to yeet. Dude, I just thought about it, Bailey. The moment that Roman finally does the yeet is going to get a massive pop.
Yeah, that's going to be something we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
It's really weird.
All right, let's go to Salamoster.
These two men. No mention of The Rock being on the show tonight, so I figured he wasn't going to be there. They did announce that Roman Reigns would sound off. That's what they said. But there was no Rock on this show, and I know some people are going to be surprised or upset about that. I don't know what his deal is. I really don't. You know, he hasn't been seen since after WrestleMania. He shows up on Saturday. He's got his custom belt over his shoulder. He walks out. He gets a big reaction. Everyone's excited. Oh my God, The Rock is back. What does this mean for Survivor Series? What does this mean for War Games? As it turns out, it doesn't look like it's going to mean much of anything because he was barely even mentioned tonight. Roman Reigns was out there. Jimmy Uso was out there. They had microphones. They were cutting promos. No mention of The Rock. Nothing. Outside of some highlights they showed, it was almost like you would never even know it happened. Now, there's a report in the latest Observer from Meltzer. I know. But Meltzer is saying The Rock is not even scheduled to be at WrestleMania. They're going to be in Las Vegas next year, WrestleMania 41. And at this moment, if that is to be believed, and I'm not so sure I believe that's the way it's going to end up, The Rock cannot make WrestleMania next year. He is not even going to be on the show. Now, if you believe that, I mean, it's hard to believe, given that, you know, he was at WrestleMania this year. He's tied into this whole bloodline story. They're in Las Vegas, the fight capital of the world here, right? The big entertainment capital of the country. It's hard for me to believe. But you know what? If you can't do the show, good. Then they have no excuse not to give us Cody Rhodes against Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Because that's been the one thing. If you are someone who is interested in seeing Cody Rhodes defend the title or even challenge for the title, if you were to lose it before that, for Randy Orton, The Rock was always sort of the big, no pun intended, The Rock that was thrown into the plans here because you had to figure that it was going to be Rock and Cody or Rock and Cody and Roman. Well, if Rock is not going to be on the show or he's not going to be wrestling a match, great. Then you got no excuse. Cody and Randy is a match that a lot of people have been wanting to see for a very long time since Cody came back to the company. That's a WrestleMania-worthy match. Now there's no excuse not to do it on the big stage. So that's a good thing. Well, we'll see where Rock ends up falling in the pecking order here, if he's on the show or not. He wasn't on this show. Roman Reigns was, though.
And he and Jimmy Uso, there was one thing that was made very clear from tonight's show, which is that these two men need help. They cannot fight these battles on their own. They're taking on Solo Sikoa and the Tongans, Jacob Fatu, and it's just too much. And Jimmy Uso said it best. Beginning of the show, he said it again at the end of the show. We need help. And he all but told you who that help was that he was referring to, even though Roman Reigns, he's not really enamored with the idea. Jimmy Uso is going to be looking for some help very soon from a certain someone on the other show. So you can already see pieces are now starting to move and fall into place for a potential War Games match at Survivor Series next month. Kevin Owens was not on the Bad Blood show on Saturday, but he made a lot of news coming out of the show because he attacked Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. Something that they kind of referenced, but they didn't even show you highlights of it on TV. They're really portraying this as, okay, we want to keep this under wraps. We want to keep this as close to the best as possible. It's almost like their version of Tony Khan and Brawl Out, where people know. That's kind of the approach that they're taking with this. Kevin Owens is suspended. He was fined and suspended for what he did, beating up Cody Rhodes outside of the arena on Saturday. But he showed up on the show tonight. Cody wanted a piece of him. He wanted a piece of Cody. Randy Orton tried to play peacemaker here. Randy Orton, of all people, trying to diffuse the situation and calm things down. And in the end, all he did was get caught in the crossfire because Kevin Owens ended up laying out Randy Orton. That I find, this story here, I find more interesting than the bloodline stuff. Where is this going to go? I mean, you can kind of, in your mind, you can imagine with Randy Orton where this is going to ultimately lead. About the whole Kevin Owens situation. He accidentally called Kevin Owens Kevin Dunn. I don't even remember the last time Kevin Dunn's name would have been uttered on WWE television. He called him Kevin Dunn. I can think of no greater insult. Fuck Kevin Dunn. I really can't.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Cole should do a formal apology to Kevin Owens. A handwritten note. He should buy him a gift. Quite as much as calling someone Kevin Dunn. Earlier today, I forgot where I saw it. Week, and as we did with Cody, showing up on Raw Monday night. Remember, he was there on Raw Monday. He didn't really do anything other than come out at the very end of the show to just confront Gunther because they're going to be on opposing sides at Crown Jewel, wrestling for this new Crown Jewel championship that they have created. But as with that, tonight we had more brand mixing, where we had the Women's World Champion from Raw, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez. They were on the show tonight. This is all to build to Crown Jewel. Everything that they would do, typically in advance of Survivor Series, when they were still doing Raw versus SmackDown, now they're going to do it for Crown Jewel. So over these next 4 weeks, you're going to see, or 3 weeks, whatever it is, you're going to see a lot more of this back and forth between the two brands. Rhea Ripley also made a surprise appearance on the show tonight. In-ring wise, Raw was the better of the two shows. And I didn't like Raw very much. But in-ring wise, you had Gunther and Sami Zayn. You had the Donnybrook match between Sheamus and Pete Dunne. So I have to give the edge to Raw this week as far as matches. There was nothing on this show in-ring that could touch, that stuff from Monday. But it was a better SmackDown than what we've been getting of late. That was largely really centered around the stuff with Owens and Cody and Orton. You take that out of the picture, I'm not as rosy about this show tonight. It was fine, it was solid, but to me that really was the segment or the segments and the story that carried the show. So it was a step up from what we've been getting on Friday nights, which isn't saying much because I don't think we've been getting much from this show now for a while, for a good part of the summer, frankly, into the beginning of the fall. But I did think it was better than a lot of the SmackDown episodes recently. In-ring wise, though, I got to go with the show on Monday. But this is your Friday Night SmackDown up on Pro. Both Usos have some pretty good entrance music. And I've said this before. I'm telling you, if you are Bowen or you are a Joshi, you're usually in pretty good shape. How they tweak the character and the presentation and the spin will be interesting to watch to see just where we go. The seed of this that is most intriguing to me is okay, we get it. On the surface, Randy Orton is an ally of Cody Rhodes and now a reluctant enemy of Kevin Owens. But I feel like there's another turn with Randy Orton in this saga somewhere.
Right. I almost feel like, again, I'm not trusting him. I'm wondering if this is his way of maybe, I don't know if he's trying to screw Kevin Owens, or if he's trying to screw Cody Rhodes. And right now, or both, right, or both. It could be a scenario of both, and Nice. All right. Let's keep it going here. I want to get into let's get into the Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes stuff since we touched on.
A lot of moments that they can still drop.
Heyman enters the Royal Rumble. Brock, Punk, Roman. I think that's it.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, we got Bailey Darley here.
Oh.
Yeah, the interesting part is.
Now let's see Jetty from New York. Wait, hold on.
He's a tribal chief, and that means that he takes what's his. And for 4 years now, that's exactly what they've done. They took what was theirs. They had it all: the money, the power, the respect, the championships. Everybody feared them. And he doesn't like where they are right now. He doesn't like his position. He told us that he's the greatest of all time, and he meant it. And when they step into these arenas, he wants us to know that the GOATs are here. When they put those ones up in the air, he wants us to know that they are the one.
Smackdown was. So we are going into at least the beginning stages of where we are going into Survivor Series, which will be here in no time at the end of November in Vancouver, British Columbia. The big thing that happened tonight was Kevin Owens. And everybody was anticipating Kevin Owens coming out and explaining the reasoning behind why he attacked Cody Rhodes at the end of Bad Blood. It did happen on screen. It did not happen at the PLE. The PLE ended with The Rock giving a very cryptic throat slash to everybody in the ring. It was Roman, it was Jimmy Uso, it was Cody Rhodes. That's the way Bad Blood went off the air last Saturday. After the show was over, WWE went about doing things a little bit different. They had planted fans ready and armed with their mobile devices
For the ride as well. I mean, as things stand right now, you've got Solo and Jacob and the Tongans on one side. That's 4. And it doesn't look like Solo is going to get bounced out of his bloodline anytime soon, even though I made the point in the Bad Blood review. I said, for a guy who took over this whole bloodline thing, because losing has consequences. Winning and losing, very important. This is a guy who has lost and lost and lost going back to SummerSlam. Yet there seemingly are no consequences for Solo Sikoa. At some point, there need to be consequences for it, but that's not going to happen before Survivor Series. You got 4 of them on one side. You need 4 on the other side. You got Roman, you got Jimmy. Of course, they're going to eventually bring in Jay. There's going to be a 4th spot. Cody's doing his own thing now with Randy and KO. That only leaves Sami Zayn. Who else is there? Who else would be on their side? The Rock is not going to be there. Fucking Rock. Please, we may not see him again until God knows when. If we're lucky, we'll see him maybe that first Raw on Netflix. He'll pop up, right? We'll feel the mana. He'll bring the mana, right? He'll be hitting his fucking arm going like this. Feel the...
And
honest, we know that touch is your baby's first love language.
And Rhea being so mad, she needs to come out and get revenge for everything that's transpired, not just there, but on Raw, but of course, however many episodes.
They're going to bring Jey Uso into the fold here. It shouldn't be easy. He shouldn't be so quick to want to get back together with these guys for all the shit that they put him through. And how hard it was for him to finally break away and separate himself from the family and break out on his own. And he's done that, and he's gotten over, he's stayed over, and he's become a champion now for the first time in his career, a singles champion. So it shouldn't be a case where it takes a week or two to get Jey to come around and then he joins the bloodline. This is something that they need to play out over a series of weeks. And you had Roman, and it looks like that's what they're going to do because you have Roman in this segment, flat out telling Jimmy, no yeet. So Roman is not on board with bringing Jey back, but Jimmy is. So Jimmy is going to have to convince both of them. He's going to have to convince Jey, and then he's going to have to convince Roman that this is what we need, this is the right idea. He's going to have to try to broker a peace or a truce, play peacemaker between them, which I think could make for some great television. But you had to start it now because before you know it, Survivor Series is going to be here. It's next month. So I think we could get some really good TV out of it. But you got to have that tension. That's the key to all this. You want to make this interesting. You got to have that tension. This segment that we had at the beginning of the show here with Roman and Jimmy was the first time that we have had a Bloodline segment in many, many months. I mean, go back to the beginning of the year when Rock was here. That really felt like a Bloodline segment. And this was by no means a great segment. This would not even crack the top 30 of Bloodline segments. And he was infiltrating the show when he wasn't supposed to be there. Out comes Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is being held back by security. Kevin Owens is being held back by security.
Oh, whoops.
You don't need to be at this type of stress.
My bad. What the hell?
And in the middle of this scuffle, Kevin Owens is there with the security ring.
Break. Andrade showed up at ringside in the timekeeper's area.
Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns on Raw or Jey Uso on SmackDown. So maybe I'm on a whole tangent right now, but maybe when the Raw goes to Netflix, that could be the case. Regardless, I think it was effective in this case because you're involving all those people from different shows and you're teasing ahead to what Crown Jewel is going to be, which is a showdown from the champs.
All right, we got some super chats in here, so let's see what the people are saying. All right, we got Sleep Boy here who says with WWE and TNA.
Please vote no. And I pinned him to retain the title. By the way, the update on AJ Styles, since we talked about it on the podcast last week, is it a work? Is it not a work? It was very strange the way the whole thing played out. Evidently, the story of the match may have been scheduled to include AJ feigning an injury, but he did suffer an injury. And it sounds like a ligament sprain in his foot. He's still, I guess, waiting results of an MRI. So we don't know how serious the injury is, but he is hurt. And he wasn't happy about it. And I wouldn't be happy about it either if I were him because he just came back. This was his first match back since June last week. And apparently they're starting a storyline with him where he is going to be going on a retirement tour of his own. I don't know exactly what the story is going to be beyond.
It's got to be impactful. Fans are already thinking about, man, that RKO on Cody Rhodes is going to hit like fucking crack. It's going to be beautiful, shocking when it happens. And that's what they potentially could be building towards. Are they in cahoots? Is Cody Rhodes too trusting of Randy Orton? Do they want to create the perception that Randy Orton is buddy-buddy with Cody Rhodes, only to then, on that night when it happens, have it feel shocking? Why would you do that? Why would you RKO Cody Rhodes? He's been in your corner. You've been on television telling him that you got everything settled. You're going to take care of everything, that you're in his corner. No matter what, you got him, right? He's your backup. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or if we are looking at a complete red herring here, meaning KO might not even be the one going here. KO might be acting a little bizarre, but are we looking at Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton? And the situation really is, Randy Orton says, I'm fed up with this shit. I didn't come back to be a babysitter for Cody. I didn't come back to be a fucking therapist for Kevin Owens. Is Randy Orton going to be the one to fuck Cody and fuck Kevin Owens? And he's the one that's going to level Cody Rhodes at the end of this all in a fit of frustration. He's going to be the one to turn heel. And Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes are going to collectively have to come together and live together and coexist together because of what Randy Orton did. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Randy Orton operates solely on himself.
Here in a tank top, show the guns. What do I got to do?
Dryland individuals can also earn uninvested money.
For face on Mount Rushmore as we speak.
There are a shit ton of Rhea Ripley shirts everywhere. We went to the superstore and I think it was with my husband because he really loved.
One show to the next. I think ultimately that's probably the way to go because it's just cool. It usually doesn't work out. I thought this was one of the exceptions to that. I thought it worked brilliantly because it helped every participant involved. We were talking about it the last show we did. Naomi. All right, what's up next for her? What's sort of been toiling away. She gets a big win over Nia Jax. At this point, a pin on Nia Jax, no matter the circumstances, 1, 2, 3, is a big one. Nia Jax doesn't lose anything in that process because of the way it all went down. Meanwhile, it ups the ante for Crown Jewel, the first Crown Jewel where we're seeing these rules, and it only makes sense for Liv Morgan to want to cause Nia Jax to get in Nia Jax's head ahead of that match. So that part of it makes sense as well. Tiffany, it has been frustrated in how she's, dealing with Nia and how she's going to get to the Money in the Bank. You've seen her pump fake it a little bit, so that's still in play. And then Rhea Ripley. I can't remember the last time Rhea Ripley made an appearance on SmackDown.
She has. It's been a while, very long.
So I was legitimately caught up by surprise when that happened, but it ties back to Bad Blood and Raquel making her return there and protecting Liv and Dom and Rhea being so mad she needs to come out and get revenge for everything that transpired, not just there.
Various version of them were there, wanting so rude.
So I think he's
Seriously, I do want to see. We are going to see Rhea and Liv for that one more match. Like it's gonna happen. I'm assuming it's gonna happen at War Games and at Survivor Series. I keep wanting to call Survivor Series. You know how Survivor Series War Games? I keep calling it War Games instead of. That was a. Oh, Rhea Ripley, I'm your new tag team. To Raquel and Rhea. So I feel like that, like their match at NXT, I remember loving that match. Oh, they did such a good job, especially because they're both they got great arms, great backs, all of it. They're definitely flexible. They look great. But no, I do love what I had seen from them in NXT.
I thought that this was well done. I thought this segment
For the longest time, I remember when we saw Raquel go from NXT to the main roster, I was expecting to see a similar growth for Raquel in terms of like her becoming a big star, because again, it's not every day that you see somebody out there that's built like Raquel or built like Rhea. So they tend to find a good amount of success. So yeah, of course Rhea's a totally different person now from the last time she wrestled her, and that's what I'm really interested in. But Jay, thank you so much for sending in the super chat. Appreciate you. Also, Chad Bad One just became a brand new member of the BWO, so thank you so much for joining the channel. All right, so there's been so much here to get into. All right, now we're gonna rewind a little bit to some of the topics we haven't discussed yet. Really quickly, we got LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title. This match finished a lot sooner than I expected. I think I was expecting a little bit of a lengthier match, but I think given how much we got on Smackdown today with all of these backstage segments, in-ring segments, everything that we saw, it kind of made sense why this match was a little bit brief. But LA Knight wins with BFT, and Andrade was there at ringside. So even though we could have gotten more out of this was fine.
I continue to be impressed with LA Knight in the ring of late. The springboard elbow drop that he does, and the BFT looks good when he's hitting it every time. So
we know why he's upset, right? We don't really need him to kind of spoon feed the whole thing to us.
As the crowd chanted, "Yeets, yeets," Jimmy did not shy away from that. And Roman looked at Jimmy and said, "No yeet." There's a problem between Jay and Roman. Jimmy's not the problem. Jay is the problem. Jimmy's not the story. Jay is the story. Who had bigger problems with Roman? Jay did. What's the biggest part of the reconciliation of the bloodline? Roman getting back Jimmy or Jay, and Jay aligning himself with Roman. That's what needs to happen. Who's going to be the mediator? Is Jimmy going to go talk to Jay? Is Roman going to go talk to Jay? Seems like we're in the midst of people popping up on SmackDown for absolutely no reason from Monday Night Raw. I guess it's free reign now that Crown Jewel is happening, and it's Raw versus SmackDown because it's Crown Jewel. They broke their own brand split rules tonight because we had Rhea Ripley show up, and Liv Morgan show up, and Raquel Rodriguez show up, and Dominic Mysterio show up for absolutely no fucking reason with no heads up. How is that going to happen? Is that going to happen in the next couple of weeks? Is that going to happen at Crown Jewel? Are we going to see something happen before we get to Crown Jewel? I don't know. Is the guy that they were alluding to not even Jay? Is it Sammy? I would assume it's going to be both Jay and Sammy. I would assume that this match is going to include Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy alongside Roman, which was the original plan. They are the original bloodline. It only makes sense for the story to be Roman, who did bad all these months, now reconciling with the original bloodline as they fight for the good of WWE and the good of their family against Solo, who's looking to take over WWE and disrespect the family. I'm assuming it's going to end up both being Jay and Sammy when we get to War Games. We have more than enough time to really flush that story out. We have a lot going on right now on SmackDown. Thing is how we get there with those two guys. Jay has to drop that Intercontinental Championship first, and then he needs to be confronted by either Jimmy or Roman or both. When and where does that happen? I don't know. And yes, Paul Heyman is still not made his way back to television, which I'm assuming when the original bloodline is once again formed, then we'll see the wise man take his spot in the bloodline. There's a lot to like right now. This was a very good SmackDown. It looks like they were focused on telling stories. It looks like all the pieces are together, which a lot of it had to do with Roman being back regularly. So we'll see where it goes from here, going into Crown Jewel and going into the Survivor Series. But I thought SmackDown was a very good show tonight, very watchable, and we will break this thing down tonight as well. Naomi and Nia Jax wrestled, and believe it or not, Nia Jax was brought to probably the best match of her title run so far by Naomi.
I decided to partner. It was Lash Legend, and she talked about her size because she's so tall.
Then he walks off. See? My man is mature. This is a very different Randy Orton. I said in the NXT review when Javon Evans overrode
Or hanging out tonight on this Friday night. Thank you to everybody in the chat.
the match on NXT. If this were 15 years ago, Randy Orton, I don't know what Randy Orton would have done. I mean, he would have probably dropped a bunch of fucking 4-letter bombs in the ring. Would have called him stupid.
Tomorrow. So we'll be here watching the pay-per-view, hanging out, talking about that, doing our post-show. And then next week, we're back to our normal slate again of shows with going back to our normal schedule with Raw watch-alongs. I'll be here. Tuesday, I'll be here with Shinadu. Wednesday, I'll be here with Reg. And then, of course, on Friday, I'll be here with Robin to talk some Smackdown. Wrestle Dream tomorrow. So we'll be here watching the pay-per-view, hanging out, talking about that, doing our post-show. And then next week, we're back to our normal slate again of shows with going back to our normal schedule with Raw watch-alongs. I'll be here. Tuesday, I'll be here with Shinadu. Wednesday, I'll be here with Reg. And then, of course, on Friday, I'll be here with Robin to talk some Smackdown. But Robin, I know that you were at the WNBA finals, I think?
Yeah,
or the playoff
I was at
games?
the NBA Finals. Shit, that was last night.
It's on your clothes. I was like, oh my, well, I don't know what's going on, but I was wondering. I was like, when's he getting that Caitlin Clark interview?
It was
We're talking about.
in the women's basketball sphere in that world.
On Wednesday. We have a lot to talk about.
What he saw was outside in the parking lot, Kevin Owens was standing over Randy Orton. He was kicking the shit out of him. So all this is called help, calling for security. Owens is yelling down at Randy saying, "You want to pick sides, huh? You picked the wrong side." They finally, he left Orton laying, and they were able to escort Owens away. So there was a lot going on as far as this.
Alright, now let's get back to my SmackDown review. I think I showed you guys the other podcasters and YouTube, like JD from New York, Solomon the Sound Off, Wrestling Inc. Now we did get AEW Rampage, but I'm not gonna watch that because the show wasn't live. No one's at Rampage. We did get a bad day 7 with Byron Saxton interviewing LA Knight. LA Knight will never get off his game. He's still champion. He'll probably face Andrade after he beat Carmelo Hayes. I think they'll send that match up, and they've been teasing it for a few weeks now. Kevin Owens attacked Randy Orton in the parking lot. Judgment Day helped Naomi defeat Nia Jax. We got the main event, Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa. In the main event, match was alright, wasn't that good. It was alright. Solo gets the victory. So at least we win on SmackDown. And after that, we got the Bloodline beat down Jimmy and Roman. And Jimmy said, Roman, we need help. So when you get Jay, when you get Sammy, when you get Paul Heyman, how well can they advance this storyline? What else is gonna happen? I think that was SmackDown. Roman Reigns sounds off. SmackDown Sneak peek. That was 12 minutes. That's how the show opened up. You were Tyler Mack, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes. This only lasted like a few minutes. Now this match lasted 2 minutes. That was nothing. The women's match was very interesting. They're setting up Nia and Liv. Now Rhea Ripley came out, took out the Judgment Day. She took out Liv, Dominic, and Rhea, and Raquel. Judgment Day helped Naomi defeat Nia Jax. Kevin Owens attacked Randy Orton. Jimmy versus Solo. Hold on.
I'm the household CFO, managing where the money needs to go.
There's commercials here. All right. Now that was the main event between Jimmy and Solo. Match for like what, 15 minutes? It was probably like what, 10 minutes? I think it was 10 minutes this match lasted. Now there was NXT. Wait, I think I already saw this. Yeah. Oh wait, it says something, but never mind.
AEW this weekend presents.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Nobody quits here in the venue. Nobody. It's not easy. You gotta keep doing.
You could be telling here. I just don't want him to hold everything up and hold everything hostage again. So I would certainly hope that he's given them a heads up on whether or not he. We had Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. We did finally get the match, with them defending the women's tag team titles against Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend from NXT. If you were interested to see Mode,
Streaming full time. If you start thinking that way, you're going to fail. My God, Jason. YouTube and on Twitch. And Roman. Jimmy's not the problem.
Oh wait, I already saw this.
When you've created this little niche for yourself and separated yourself from the pack and showcased who you are as a person. Develop an audience first. If people aren't watching you, then fix something. Something's obviously broken. If you want to take it a little bit more seriously, on top of it being a passion and a love for you, go out and get some graphics made. Go out and show how much you love streaming. You can't just sit there and stream from your bedroom or your couch and then have people throwing money at you. It's not going to work that way. Who are you? You got to do it for the love of the game. You can't do it for the money. You got to be open and honest about what you're doing, and people will see that and will want to support you. If it's for any other reason but love and passion, people will see right through that. That's why I've developed the reputation that I have. Listen, some of these shows have been fucking dirt poor. Awful. But I love to entertain people. Some of these shows I wish I would not cover. But I do it because I love streaming. I love this. I love what I've created. I don't go out and deviate to make me these fucking kick-ass designs because, I'm about the money. Now, I love sitting in this chair, man. I love doing what I do. I love being in front of this camera. I love being in.
Bad Blood Review. Wrestling Dream Preview. New Japan. I can't wait for the pay-per-view tomorrow. There is Issa. Demon Diva. That's Issa. Alright, well, I think I'll just end the video. Just want to say thank you for listening, thank you for all support. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section y'all want to see more. I think I'll end the video. This is Jacob Cast 2024. I'll see y'all next time. As I said before, I will do an AEW Wrestle Dream pay-per-view review tomorrow night. I'll make sure I watch the pay-per-view and do my review.